prompt number 5 of 642 things to draw. Woo! Our first prompt of the day is a bottle opener. And the second prompt is a fire escape. Great. This is gonna be a weird one. Let's just get into it. So the first thing I thought of was just drawing out the prompt. So I started with drawing out a bottle opener. And I struggled on figuring out what a bottle opener looks like. I really didn't want to use a reference for this just because I like to be able to draw things the way I think they're supposed to look because I like that cartoony, illustration-y style. But, yeah, having a reference for this probably would have helped. I was thinking of one of those, like, fancy corkscrew bottle openers with, like, the wings and you, like, push it and it pulls the cork out. But, I couldn't figure it out. So I moved on from that and drew a fire escape. This may or may not look like the exact fire escape I drew in an earlier prompt. And then I thought I'd take it a little more literally and punny. So I decided to draw a fire escape. So here's my little fire dude escaping, and I just thought it was super cute. I'm a big fan of puns, so I drew a little chain on his ankle too to make it look like he's free. And yes, I had to write punny because I was just so proud of it. Then I thought, oh, this might be a cute idea. I could draw fire escaping, and I thought this would be a great prompt to test out an isometric room. I've done a few in my sketchbook, but never on like a finished piece, and I really like the look of isometric rooms. But I couldn't really figure out, how do I get a bottle opener into this scene with the fire? And then thought, oh wait, if he's escaping, he's like an enemy. So maybe he's a prisoner and the cops are water. And so this cop, though, isn't paying attention to his prisoner and he's trying to open a bottle because he's a bottle opener. See what I'm doing there? It's another pun. I'm pretty proud of this pun illustration, and, well, as you'll see later in the video, this is definitely what I went with. I was just drawing in a couple details to try and figure out how do I make this work in an isometric room. And surprise, I don't actually end up going with the isometric room. Maybe for another prompt. I definitely want to try it, but it just wasn't working out right with this one. I felt like there was just going to be too much going on and it wasn't going to look right. But I still tested it out, and eventually we'll make an isometric room. So I drew out the final piece and lined it all off camera, mostly because I knew this one would take a while and I didn't want to eat up all of your time. So I only have showing you me coloring this, and it was a process. Getting all those lines straight for the line work, though, I'm so proud of. I think it worked out very, very well. I got a new ruler and I'm very excited about it because it's actually measured properly. My old ruler, it's not. It's weird, right? When you have a ruler that isn't measured like it should be. Like an inch isn't actually an inch, it's a little bit less than an inch. That's weird, right? Companies. You gotta make sure you're consistent on your measurements. It's fine, I'm not mad about it. I have a new ruler, and it's my favorite. So I was just trying to figure out how to shade in all of these bars because I want to make them look shiny like they're metal, because they are. Yeah, if you're confused as to where my light source is, so am I. Because it's not great. I like to just kind of shade where I think it would look nice to have shadows, and it doesn't necessarily make sense. But I like it. Of course, since they're metal bars, I had to add in that where the fire escaped from, he's burned them and bent them. He's fire, he can bend metal. So it wasn't really hard for him to escape. And here I'm just trying to figure out how to shade him. It's a little interesting adding in the shade to this fire, just because he's going to be brighter in the center and darker on the outside. And he's sort of his own light, so figuring out a light source on something that is light is something that I haven't really done before. So this was really fun to practice, but it's something I want to work on a little bit more because I'm not entirely sure how to do that. I also changed it a little bit later because I thought it'd be a good idea, and I don't hate it, but it doesn't really make sense. To be fair, this is a cartoon, so I guess none of it really makes sense. So yep, now I'm moving on over to the other side of the paper, and we just have our little water cop. He's trying to open up a water bottle because he's a bottle opener. Yep, it's mineral water because he needs to make sure he's up on his minerals because he's water. Yeah, I don't know. It made sense at the time, but then I thought, is he being a cannibal? Is he drinking someone that he knows? Are these cops evil, maybe? As I continued working on this prompt, I also realized, oh hey, water's blue. Blue is a color that's normally associated with police. I didn't actually intend for this, it just sort of happened, but I kind of like that. I like that my brain just figured that out and then decided to point it out to me. So I thought I'd point it out to you guys. I just thought it was sort of a funny thing that water's blue, and that's what cops are normally associated with, that color. I also thought it added a neat contrast, the blue and the like reddish orange, like the blue fire, the red orange, the blue water and the red orange fire. They're supposed to be contrasting characters anyway, and their colors contrast with each other, but they also contrast in what kind of characters they are. We have this cop who's supposed to be like, law-abiding, and he protects the people. And then there's Fire, who's a criminal, and he's bad, and he's escaping, and not doing what he's supposed to be doing. And I like that there's contrast there. I also looked at this prompt later and thought, there's some interesting contrast here with sort of how people are treated, I guess, with prison, because on that back wall, I drew a whole bunch of different characters that are on the most wanted list, and they're all fire. There's no water on there. So maybe this is a corrupt society where fire's just looked at like they're the worst kind of people and water's better, and that's how they're treated, but all the water are cops, so they can kind of do whatever they want, and that may or may not speak to something that you deal with in your own community, wherever you live. And here's my camera cutting out in the middle of me coloring, but all you really missed was me coloring in the rest of the wall, so nothing terribly exciting was lost. So yeah, back to that sort of societal issue within this picture. I thought of it after I had finished this prompt and thought it was sort of an interesting take on really how we judge people, and we have all these stereotypes about, oh, these people are this way, and really there've been plenty of proven cases that show that police definitely go after specific types of people. I'm not really saying what kinds of people, just because it depends where you live, really. Like, even just in America, there's a whole bunch of differences depending on the community you live in, whether it's a city or a small town, or if you have a huge diverse population, or if everyone looks pretty much the same. Cops they are taught to sort of find those stereotypes, because sometimes they're right and they're just trying to protect the people, but sometimes they get a little corrupt and start judging people and kind of going based off those stereotypes to treat people, and that's just not okay. Stereotypes are normal. We all have them. It's just when we act on them where things get a little inappropriate. So, back to a lighter topic on this cartoony picture that has a much deeper meaning than I really intended it to. I really like this most wanted picture detail in the background. It's just a whole bunch of different characters that they're the most wanted by the police. Can you find our character who's escaping? Keep looking. I'm sure you can find him. I also have decided that both of these characters are male. I don't know why, but I just decided that they are. And I just really like all the different fire characters in the background. They're some of my favorites. And you know what? Maybe this cop's really proud. He's like, yeah, I got one of the most wanted. I'm gonna get a promotion. Everything's awesome. Things are great. I'm gonna get a bonus. And, well, the one he caught's escaping, so I guess he's not getting that bonus. Oops. And here's where I'm adding in the smoke around the fire, because generally there's smoke when there's fire. But I don't really know how the light source works with fire and smoke, so oh well, that's what you got. So here's the finished piece. I hope you guys enjoyed this prompt. It was one of my favorites because I made it really punny with a fire escape and a bottle opener. See you in the next one, guys. Bye! If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Do you want to see more shenanigans? Then check out these suggestions on your screen. Thanks so much for watching. Check back soon for some more shenanigans. Bye!